going on? You doing all right?
How's practice?
Good. Another week. Back to it.
What do you see from the Sprouts defense? Looks like they don't give up a lot of yards.
Yeah, they're really good. So they got one of the best players in football. They have some young guys that are real good. I think play some man. They play tight covers. They're probably one of the best cornerback duos we'll see. When they do mix up zone, they get good job of getting their eyes on the quarterback and making plays on the football. See that last week. So we got a tough challenge, and it's gonna start another game at home. So it's gonna be good getting back at home, but we know we got a tough challenge.
Just to clarify, that's the best player you're referring to as Miles
Garrett. Yeah, Miles Garrett. Yeah, he's one of the best players in the league, and he's somebody you got to know. You got to know where he's at, and I think it's a lot of credit to him. He plays hard, and he's disruptive, and he's good in the run game and the pass game, and it's going to be a tough challenge.
What's the balance against a guy like that, where you want to play your game, but also the emphasis being to get the ball out on time? So
just be cognizant of kind of the point of the play, and being good in quick game, being good when we are trying to hold it a little longer. Just know the outlets, and we talk about outlets and scramble and throwaways, and just being smart with the football, and just going at the next play. I think they do a good job when they do get to the quarterback of going after football, especially Miles in his career. So just being go two hands on it, and knowing the outlets, and knowing when the play may be over.
The league in completion percentage through 7 weeks. What's allowed you to be so accurate this season?
Yeah, I think you pride yourself on actually trying to be accurate with the football. I think that's something that goes just from practice and individual drill, trying to hit a guy in a spot on the shoulder. Or I think the big thing is trying to be accurate for yards after the catch. I think there's some point at times throughout the season where I think could be better, getting more yards, putting in better spots for them to run after the catch. And to credit them, they're making great plays on the ball, and credit to the guys up front. They've been blocking their butts off.
Drake, what does playing with patience do to you when it comes down to staying in the pocket and deciding when to leave the pocket?
I'm trying to get to the guys that are running the routes, or whoever's open before I go off and run. They're better runners than I am, but I think it keeps the defense honest. I think it's good on third down to move the chains. I think sometimes defenses they probably hate when they got break covered and you scramble for a first down. So just trying to know that I can make plays with my feet, but know also that it's better getting the ball out to those guys who are better runners.
Drake, when you went back and watched the film, was there anything you noticed specifically, or do you feel like the coaches are putting more of an emphasis on maybe sliding a little bit more, considering that you did have to leave the game for that concussion?
I think there's always emphasis on sliding for me. I think they've said it since the beginning of the year. I think from last year, taking hits and knowing being out there for the next plays, most important. And I think credit to Dobbs is maybe the play of the day. He came in here and evaded a sack and threw a dime. So it was good to see that from the blue tent. I was looking through the little top of the blue tent and saw it. So but other than that, no, I think sliding and knowing when to get down, and also knowing whether it's a third down or near the end zone.
Does it go against kind of your natural tendency, in trying to make the most out of a play just to get down?
Yeah, I think it does, but it doesn't when you start to get hit and you start to wake up the next morning. So I think you're starting to know what it's like, with playing. I get all the credit to those guys playing in the trenches, and the linebackers and the O lineman and D lineman of getting up the next day after you're getting hit over and over, and playing in the real war. I get the the easy part back there. So no, I don't think it's I'm competitive and want to make the most out of every play, but also got to be smart over that.
Drake, how much does trust in the receivers factor into the decision making when you're throwing some more contested catch throws downfield? Like, would you be more hesitant to throw those if you didn't trust the receivers as much?
Yeah, I think it just starts going back to OTAs, going back to 7-on-7s and OTAs with no pads on. Goes back to training camp, them after practice, wanting extra routes. You just build so much just kind of trust from me and trust with me, and keep on making plays and wanting to run routes after practice and go up and making plays in practice and one-on-one. You just build build that trust, and then from there it's just gets to the game. It's no different. I'm give them a ball they can try to go up and get, and they've done it time and time again.
Great. From a coverage standpoint, do you notice anything distinct about their disguise or what they're trying to get you to see?
Yeah, I think they do a good job when they're man playing man. They're up on you, and they do a good job of disguising to this kind of junk cover 2 look where the deep safety comes in and plays the middle runner. He's good at. I think he caught a pick last week on it, so they do a good job of making plays out of it. And I think it's something that you got to be aware of and know when it looks like man and they go to zone or throughout I think all downs they do a good job of it. So he's a great defensive coordinator and they do a good job.
With that throw the 4th down throw to Pop, when you went back and watched that, just what was it like to kind of see him? What was your reaction to seeing him make that?
Yeah, I remember throwing it in the game, and I heard a reaction of cheers. So we were at a away game, so I didn't really know what happened, but I think it was all our fans, glad that he caught it. So I lost him behind one of the linemen, but what a catch! I think I saw it on the jumbotron after. Try not to look after the play up there, but I think that was a sweet catch. I told him today, hey, nice catch in the game out there at practice. It reminded me of it. He made a nice grab. So I think just knowing you never know when you get the ball. It's a play that maybe the design wasn't for him, and I saw it real early, and maybe saw it too early before he turned his eyes. But what a catch!
Drake, I think they're second in the league in terms of how quickly they force quarterbacks to throw the football. The Browns are. How do you try to stress them down the field when you know you've got to get rid of it quickly? Is that possible in a game?
Yeah. Shoot, what they're like up front. They're trying to get up the field and get after the quarterback. And I think them getting the quarterback the ball out. Part of it probably the teams wanted to get the ball out fast anyway. So just knowing with one-on-one opportunities and knowing when we do have more protection up front to try to take advantage of down the field throws. But I think their corners do a good job of sitting on stuff because they know the ball may be out, and their safeties do a good job of getting their eyes back because they know they're seeing the rush just like from their point of view. So it's kind of having an even balance of know when to take shots and know when to kind of move the chains.
You're obviously a confident guy, and you've had a lot of success. But is there any play this season or moment where you've surprised yourself at all?
I wouldn't say that. No, I think you try to replicate what you do in practice. I think a big believer in practice, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I think we're preaching here is you got to practice good and practice hard. And shoot, I threw an interception to Ponder last week in scout team practice, and just trying to battle adversity. And he was a defensive end and dropped out and got me. So just bouncing that and moving on from it. I think those things help you grow and help you shoot that may happen in the game and bounce back from it. So I wouldn't say really surprised. Just keep going and know that those guys around me got me.
What can you do to kind of replicate the idea of kind of getting used to pressure and kind of working in the pocket when it comes to practice? Not so much the games, or is it just a matter of reps?
Yeah. Shoot, that's a good point. I think you can help watch the tape and see, hey, what are they doing and how's the pocket look, and hey, it's what down is it and what's the down and distance? How aggressive are they? And on third down, we're about to watch them third down and see what they like to do. So I think just try to learn something from tape and learn the personnel, what those guys like to do, and I think the guys up front are trying to be really good at blocking inside out, and then from there in practice just try to stand in there and maybe take some hits. You may take some hits that maybe in the past couple of weeks I may not have when trying to let one go before taking the hit, and just knowing that just trying to stand in there and keep delivering even with the guys up front. But I know those guys up front can do a good job.
Drake, we've seen you hit the whole shot and cover 2 quite a bit this year. Just what about that throw gives you confidence to keep going after that one?
Yeah. Shoot, I think just I think it's one of those throws that you try to always say, hey, the whole shot's open when you look back on film and be like, man, I should have thrown the whole shot here. And it's one of those things when I'm starting to see cover 2, it's one of those, hey, I think it's taking advantage of it. It's one of the voids in the defense, and growing up playing a lot of 7-on-7, and they say that 7-on-7 wasn't great for football, but it's great for quarterbacks seeing whole shots and throwing whole shots and throwing some pace on it and still getting some arcs. So glad Mac made a great play. And we think it's becoming more and more thing in the league of trying to show different things and go to cover 2. So it's something that I like throwing. It's one of my favorite throws. So thank you guys.